This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219. Stand up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Oops, that's wrong. Let's try this again, all right? What's up? It's your boy Greg Gray, Dope Living TV. Hey, look, it's live TV. We make mistakes, all right? Okay. Dope Living TV live. Look at here. The views that are expressed on Dope Living TV live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. We get it right. Hope everybody's had a wonderful day. Today, we want to talk about something that's really, 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 really important. We want to get you straight, like we always do: educate, entertain, inform. Let me bring my sister on. What up?
Oh man, wait. There we go.
Really? Okay. They always want to point my faults out when I do something wrong. Okay, why? Because Greg Gray never does anything wrong. But that's okay. What's up, Jada?
Hey, how you doing, big bro?
Everything's good, man. We are really hopefully we're going to help some people because we're talking about something.
We are going to help some people because, this is a subject that people don't want to talk about, but it's a subject that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody earlier about this and they were like, I said, well, they want to do a subject that I don't know if everybody's going to be. And they said, no. Needs to be talked about.
It needs to be talked about.
Wait till the last second.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all right. Everybody say what's up to Mo.
Hey Mo.
Hey family, what's going on?
So as we talk about this, we have a guest that's going to come on today and help us get the proper information out there. All right.
That's right.
Her name is LaVoice, is it called?
LaVoice.
LaVoice Sims, and she's going to help us to make sure that we give you the proper information. All right.
She's going to help us get our life right or our death right.
Get our life right.
I was just going to say, maybe that might be on the other side of the dirt.
It is something that needs to be talked about because,
it is.
Death is real. It's happening.
It's
now.
real.
Even the climate that we're in now, it's even more
likely. Yeah.
And you know what else? We don't think about our children, small children,
and
5, 6, 7 years old. We don't think about them passing away.
Nope.
But look at all our children that are dying today.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of kids are dying from stuff that old people used to die of.
Mm-hmm.
Diabetes, high blood pressure. There's all kind of stuff that kids is dying from. You don't get to that stuff.
Everybody say what's up to myself.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Hey, Marcy.
Hey. Well,
what's going on? She's freezing.
I'm gonna have, you know what? I'm gonna have to get me some headphones so I can be like everybody else.
Freezing?
You were at first.
No, freezing.
Am I freezing?
Oh, okay. Huh?
Remember,
Oh no! Don't put that vision in her mind, please.
Look, before this goes left, let's bring our guests on, okay, everybody, to help us talk about
all right,
preparing for death. Let's welcome Miss LaVoice Sims to the show. Hey.
Hi, LaVoice.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. How you doing?
Good.
Hi, LaVoice. How are you?
You got to loosen up a little bit, man. You got to loosen up with that, okay? Hello, everyone. How's everyone? No, you got to loosen up with that. We got to hear the real. So welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us.
You're welcome. No problem. I'm sorry. I'm just getting my camera straight.
That's all good. Camera straight. You're good. You're right there. You're good. You're good. Who else do we have coming up there? Okay, I forgot. And we got the life coach.
Real.
Pardon me?
Life coach.
That's all we had everybody
What's
on
up?
here.
Hey,
Jeff.
What's going on? I got to be ready because he just like to put people on without no warning.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff,
You'd be like,
like-
oh, wait.
Exactly.
He had the little circle going on. Then it looked like he just popped out of circle. Like
Right.
See, there it is, right?
I'm just ready to get it going, because it's a rare occasion when somebody is really, really, really ready when a loved one dies, or in the event of your own death. How have you prepared for what's getting ready to happen? There's nothing too much that you can do except, as far as if it's happening to you. I mean, you're going to die. You're going to die. It's happening, okay? But what about the preparations for those people that are left behind, your loved ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What steps do you need to take before this happens?
Right.
Yes.
And
Even before you pass
Oh,
away.
okay. Are you guys ready for me, or are you just asking?
Yes, the voice. We're waiting.
the voice, you can chime in anytime.
Oh yeah, go ahead, girl.
It's your stage, LaVoice.
Yeah.
Okay. My name's LaVoice Sims. I am a funeral service provider, as well as a licensed insurance agent. So I see the benefits before and after, right? And I've been a funeral director for the last 11 years. And I've been a licensed insurance agent since 6 years.
Okay.
And being in the business of death and finances and funerals, that's what made me become an agent, because I was always concerned on why our people wasn't educated when it came to death. When it came to I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. when it came to death and final preparations, and just seeing them struggle. And if anyone ever had to take up a GoFundMe, or your loved one didn't have the money, then it was just like heartbreaking, because they'll sit across from us and say, well, mom had a policy, but it lapsed 6 years ago, or we didn't know it lapsed. A lot of times when they'll present us with the policy when it comes to the funeral home, and sometimes they're planning a $20,000 funeral, right? Because they're thinking mom or dad had this much or this much, and come to find out that the policy either lapsed, or the agent that presented the policy, they didn't know the thorough benefits of the policy. So that's what made me even become a life insurance agent. I'm like, I need to get this out there, where if I can help people before, in life and death, I know I'll be doing due justice. So, and it's just really needed, because a lot of clients that I come to, that I'm their agent, it's more so about education. It's not about, a lot of people really don't know, or they only know a little bit about it. And you always hear the bad instead of the good.
Yeah.
So being you're a funeral home director and a life insurance agent, that and both of those work hand in hand, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, and you look relatively young.
I know when she said how many years, I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm proud of my age. I'm 39.
Oh, wow. Wow, and you're doing it.
She
So
looks good.
when people come to you at that time, at that moment, do they know that do they come to you at that moment when they're getting ready to, or they know that they're going to die, or do a lot of people plan ahead, or are they proactive about it?
Most of my insurance clients I've met prior to, but there are about 25% I meet actually at the funeral home or during funerals. Where I had a family where I think I signed up like 5 family members after the funeral.
Wow.
Because it took them so long to bury their mother, to where they saying, I was just showing them the benefits of, if they would have had insurance, this could have been done 2 weeks ago. And again, it's all about you know, it is. It's all really about education, though. It's real, and then getting them comfortable, because you do have agents out here. They have no idea what they're selling. So that's a thing too. You know, right? Back in the day, like I have grandparents where they have like little small policies, like 2,000 or 3,000, and I told them, "Who sold y'all this? Why?" You know, but that's what the man told them,
right?
And it was no further education. So it's about trust too, because then if you know the difference, if you don't know the difference between a term and a whole life, sounds too complicated. They don't want to do anything at all.
Exactly.
So
you know, in your line of work, why have you uncovered why there's so much uneducation in life insurance and preparing for death,
especially in our community?
I'm gonna be blunt. Our people like to spend money on other stuff too. So
that's blunt, very
right.
That's true. That's a fact.
But it's true. It's true though.
Yep, that is.
Yeah.
I would rather go and smoke up a bag a day than pay $20 in life insurance.
Blow that shit out.
Right? I would rather go spend. And you know what's sad though? But again, I don't discourage anyone. I don't not to sound bad, but your child didn't have life insurance, but you're burying him in $8,000 worth of clothes.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Wow.
Make it make sense out here.
That's crazy.
Or burying them with a car or a bike.
I never even thought of that.
Exactly.
Whether you're in the streets or not, because some agents say, well, we can't guarantee you a policy because you incarcerated or this and that. There are policies where they ask no medical questions, although it may be a little higher, but if y'all can afford $8,000 to go in the ground, y'all can afford this life insurance. And plus the 10 and 12 kids that you leave behind, they'll still be good too, right?
I did a gear shift on my stuff. So, I had a $250,000 policy and it was a term. And I was paying high rate because I'm a diabetic and high blood pressure. I mean, I was paying $500 a month. Yeah. Wow. That's because
let me ask you,
okay.
What is an average payment for something like that?
Yeah.
It's not an average payment. This is the thing. It depends on what your need is. Everyone need is not the same. And I'm gonna give you an example. You'll speak to some agents or some companies and they totally push term insurance. That's it. That's all. Term, right?
Yeah.
You'll speak to other agents and they'll only say whole life, whole life, whole life. Term insurance, for those of us who don't know, term insurance is temporary.
Exactly.
It lasts
term.
years, but it will expire.
Yeah.
Right? Whole life lasts until you pass away.
Yep.
Right.
With some whole life, you can pay on it 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and it's paid up for life. Others, you just pay it till you pass away, right?
Right.
This is the thing though. Whole life is more expensive than term.
Yep.
But it's younger people, term life is the way to go. The reason why is you have more responsibility when you're younger. Right. So I'm 39, right? I still have a mortgage. I still have a child. She still would need college if something was to happen to me right now. As I get older, though, those needs are no longer needed. Meaning, like when I'm 82, I don't have to worry about that big amount of policy for my child if I don't have the additional income, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
Now, again, some companies and agents won't agree with my next statement, but I stand by this because I see both sides of it. I always suggest mixed, meaning a little whole and a lot term.
Okay.
So you can mix it?
You can mix it.
Let me write this down.
So now, as you get older, do you switch that over? I mean, move it, more term and less whole, or vice versa?
Well, see, the idea where certain agents and companies will tell you is that, see, if you only have a term policy, like if you're my age, right?
Right.
They want you to pay it to the term, but you could get a bigger policy. But your additional money, they want you to invest.
Exactly.
Right?
and that's what State Farm's doing.
And I know Lil JoJo and I know Lil Momo. They're not going to invest.
Mhm.
They're not gonna invest. I mean, as
You know,
much
my little
as
brother.
I take them, they're not going to invest.
I told him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, my little brother Momo.
So if
the voice.
Marcella?
My question for you, yes, my question for you is, there are some that as you get older, money starts being, like, say, a $100,000 policy or something, then it's like as you start getting older, it starts subtracting from that $100,000 policy or
That's
something
not
of that.
that's
Where
not
it's
a
like,
true whole life policy. Because
Okay.
a true whole
Okay.
life policy, the benefit amount, it never changed and the payment never changed.
Right.
So when you have variable and universal, so it's not a true whole life policy. A true whole life policy, nothing ever changed.
Let me ask a question. Now, you know, some of these vehicles they have
Okay.
now for
You spoke.
insurance. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your question, Morgan.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go. No.
Some of these insurance companies have a vehicle for making money now, you know, on your policies. Like State Farm has a vehicle, you know, where you can invest and it grows after so long. And you actually can either borrow from your life insurance plan or you can or you can just
You can take it out.
cash out, yeah.
Right.
Cash it out. Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people, what they're doing now with these big policies that they've been paying on forever, most of them whole life, they're cashing out. They're going to these companies and say, you know what, I don't need this big old insurance policy anymore. Then that company turns around and sells them a smaller policy and cashes out their big policy.
Okay.
So, I mean, what do you think about that?
It's okay because again, it's chess. It's not checkers. All right.
Right.
So
Right.
it depends on what your goal is. Meaning, if they may need that money now, that's fine. But as long as you still have something in place for your final expenses.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
But
That's what I did.
On certain policies, you can borrow from your money, but this is the problem where a lot of people don't know. You're going to be penalized for that.
Yeah.
And you're not just taking money out. That's a loan.
Yeah.
That's a loan that you have to pay back. If you do not pay the loan back, the interest start compounding. So where your policy would eventually be upside down.
Be gone. Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Some people
You
are
mentioned
cashing.
variable
So they
and
think you can
universal.
just borrow. You can borrow from it, but borrow meaning that's a loan.
Well, you cash out when you take a piece of it out. You know, $200,000 policy, you take 50 out of it. You know,
But you have to have that 50 built up in that policy. But even once you take the 50 out and you're not making payments on that 50,000, the interest is going to compound every year until your policy is upside down.
Yeah, because that deducts from the principal.
So what do these people do with this these chunk of these insurance, policies that they got that they didn't loan this money on? You know, the people that have these vehicles, what do they do with that chunk of that insurance policy?
Whatever they want to. They may be using it for emergency purposes.
No. I'm talking about the people that the
insurance company.
The insurance company that gave them the money.
You mean what are they doing on the interest?
Yeah, I mean, what are they doing with the policy? So say for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. I have a $200,000 policy. Mm-hmm. Okay, and XYZ insurance company comes to me and say, "Hey, you got a $200,000 policy. You don't need that policy no more. You need a $50,000 policy. Your house is paid off, your kids out of college and everything. So they give me $50,000 for that. I don't have to make another payment, and they take that insurance policy away."
I think I'm a little confused.
I think.
Well, it's some vehicles out there that take. It's some vehicles out there. It's some insurance company vehicles that take the whole policy away.
But they're not. I think what you're thinking, Mo, is they're getting money. They're getting $250,000, but they're not.
They're not.
It depends on what you're vested into. I think
they're not getting money. Just like your policy, you're paying in it, but you don't get paid out until you pass away.
Takes a while.
So it's not like, And let me ask on that, LaBoyce, because what Maurice is saying, I always thought that it was against principle for an insurance company to come in and have you to trade out your current insurance for something less. Or am I wrong?
Not necessarily. There's certain paperwork that we fill out that is transfer of insurance. Sometimes it's a good thing because you guys know what contestability is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, talk to the young people. That's because I'm the young person down here. So
okay.
Yeah, tell us. Yes.
So Jeff, right? So Jeff, Jeff, if you signed up with a policy with me today,
okay,
the insurance company will not pay out for another 2 years, meaning that your policy is in contestability. However, even if they will pay out, it'll take about 6 months for them to go through your medical file to make sure that you didn't lie on your application and there was no foul play, right?
Right. Okay.
Because they do go through your medical records within those 2 years if you pass. However, after 2 years and a day, they don't ask no questions. Whether you land on that policy, they don't ask no questions. So,
but there are some policies that, and I know from experience that you have helped someone get a policy that had medical issues, and that's very hard. There's a lot of I have a few friends that cannot get insurance because they have huge health issues. So the insurance companies won't touch them. But I happen to know that there was an individual you did help in that type of situation.
Yeah, so I'm a broker, so I'm not with one individual company. I'm with several companies. And the reason I did that is to spread the wealth, right? I didn't want to be tied down to one company because some companies don't have what you call the guarantee issue, meaning they're not going to ask any medical questions. However, your premium may be a little higher. Your premium is a little higher.
That's what happened to me.
I was able to help those individuals. Sometimes they have cancer, they have other things, the illnesses, but I'm able to get them qualified because they ask no medical questions.
That's what happened to me with
Are those still contestable?
Yes.
Or all of them contestable?
Now, okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. Jeff may sign up with me and it's not gonna happen. But if he passed away in 18 months, his family will still go ahead and file the claim. As long as the insurance company don't see any thing on his original application that stated that he had any medical conditions that he passed from or something like that, they'll go ahead and pay him out. It's just that funeral homes cannot accept contestability policies because that means we don't know if we're gonna get paid or not.
So what if Jeff was what if a family member killed him or something like that?
But hold on, let me finish.
All these bad scenarios.
Now, but even if Jeff passed away of an accident, more than likely he'll get paid. But again, the funeral home will not accept it because it's under 2 years, and that means they'll have to wait on their money for medical records and all of that, right? Now, fast forward though, Mo B. Hold on, let me give you 1 second. So if Mo B came and signed up with me, and he said, LaVoice, I have a cardiology problem. I have heart problems. I say, well, I can't.
Gonorrhea, right?
Oh Lord, get this man. He must be stopped.
Oh, help him.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, the voice, don't let him come. Don't let him come in your office if he got all that. Don't let him come in. Say no.
We refuse no one.
I guess you said, think about it. I'm dead. I ain't got no choice. In one of the offices.
We knew he had a medical condition. I say, okay, well, I'm not going to give you the policy that we gave Jeff. I'm going to give you a guarantee issue. But this is the difference. He may have a waiting period. So contestability and a waiting period, those are two different terms. Waiting period means I don't care what happened to you within 2 years or 3 years, we're not paying out at all. They're not going to go back and look at any medical records. That means they're not paying out for him at all. Whereas with Jeff, they may pay out. It's just going to take some time. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
But there are some policies.
So let's say,
go ahead, Marcy, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So say you pass away and you're in this contestable or waiting period policy. So then does that mean that now your family still got to do the GoFundMe if they don't have the money because
Yes, ma'am.
nothing is coming out?
Yes,
Oh,
that's why it is
wow.
best if you're gonna do insurance, do it right away because you don't know the day or time, and you
Nobody
keep waiting,
does.
and you
Right.
keep waiting, you keep waiting.
That's right. Yeah.
Another important thing that it happens, I want to say, on 1 of every 6 cases at the funeral home. If you lapse on your insurance, again, not if you're late, if you actually lapse on your insurance policy, your contestability starts over.
Oh.
You
You're
can have
killing us right now, LaVoice. You're killing
you
us
can
right
have
now.
insurance for 20 years. If your policy lapse, your contestability gonna start over.
What
So
time frame is
basically,
called
everybody,
lapse?
what she's saying is don't die. And if you're gonna die, see her
Mm.
first, okay?
Pay your bill.
We're talking with LaVoice Sims. She is a real estate. God, dog. She is a licensed.
Just gave her another career.
She also has you have your own funeral home. You said
Yes, funeral
okay, she has
service.
her own funeral
Funeral
home.
service
Funeral
and life
service. I'm
insurance.
sorry.
Funeral services.
Hey, look, Ella Taylor says, my question is this. If you pay for your policy for years and you live to be 80, why don't you receive the whole amount? The term I heard was you outlive your policy.
That means she had a term, a temporary policy.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, that means she had a temporary policy and she outlived it.
Should have died at 79.
So that now there are policies. That's why you just got to be direct. There are policies where an insurance agent would say, "We guarantee you insurance until the age of 95," right?
Right.
What they're not telling you is level to the age of 75, at 76, 77, 78. It goes up every year.
That's what I think Marcy was talking about, where it's decreasing.
Yeah.
I know there's some terms where you reach a certain age and now you get paid only 50% of the policy.
Yeah.
Instead of the full amount.
Yeah.
Well, I jumped out of that term when I had a 500.
You know, LaVoice.
Don't die. Live till you're 97 and crusty, man, and that way it won't make a difference. All right.
Easy to catch on fire. Just throw a match on.
Lift up. I ain't mad at you.
LaVoice.
You know, LaVoice. You mentioned variable and universal. Can you break those down?
No, I can't.
The difference.
The reason I can't break those down is I'm not well versed with those policies because it deals with index and securities.
Okay.
I am not licensed in securities. I'm not licensed in index. I can give you a little bit.
This is the first, though. This is the first. Somebody who comes on here and they will honestly say, "Hey, man, I'm cool on that. I don't know." You know, I love that. Thank you.
That's right. Let them know what you're doing. Don't
thank you for that. Yes, thank you.
I know those universal policies are very expensive. Those are more for the rich.
It has some deal with investing and some hold, some terms. So again, when it comes to with investing policies, I refer people out because I'm not licensed with securities and everything, and I don't touch. I'm not interested in it either, to be honest with you.
So you know what, LaVoice, a lot of times people feel they're covered because they have insurance on their job. Can you speak on that?
Let me give you a good example. One of my very dear loved ones was on a job for 15 years, and she was laid off. And you know, my insurance brain started working and said, "Hey,
lapse.
You don't have no insurance anymore, do you?" Because sometimes when you end at a job and you're terminated, laid off, or whatever, it lasts until a certain amount of time, and then sometimes you had a COBRA insurance, right? But at some point, that group insurance is going to end, and employment insurance, that the company own your policy, you don't own your policy,
right?
Which means once you stop working for that company, you're no longer insured under that group policy. So you always need a policy outside of your job, but always take the group policy and the work employment policy as extra because it costs nothing.
It's
you
cheaper.
literally sometimes paying $10. Take it as a supplement. Whatever job you're on, take their group.
Yeah.
But why can't you cash out? Why
You
can't you
can't,
cash out on
because
a regular policy? Like if I say, you know what, I'm leaving the company, I've paid 10 years in this policy, I want to cash it. Why you can't do that, correct?
It's a group term. You know how you can cash out on a term? The only term policies you can cash out on and get your premiums back is guaranteed premiums. So there are some term policies where at the end of your term, they give you back all of the premiums you paid into it and a little interest. But again, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, let me bring up Ella's comment as well. It happened to my dad. She said he had a whole life. He passed at the age of 80, and his wife only got $2,500.
Ooh.
It wasn't, Miss Ella, that wasn't a true whole life. Meaning there are some policies that will read whole life, but then it's other verbiage. A true whole life policy, the benefit will never change. The amount of payment never changes. My daughter's 13. She's had her policy for years. I will continue to pay that same amount that I paid from when she was at age of 1. When she's the age, it never changes. So that's not a true whole life.
Okay.
I got a true whole life for my daughter when she was 16, and I still have it.
Yeah.
And I've never paid no more than the $52 a month.
Wow.
Ella.
So do you age out of those?
No.
A whole life.
Whole life.
What you sign up for. So there's a lot of children policies I have now where I write on children where the parent pay only 10 or 20 years and they're finished completely paying. At the age of 21, that child life insurance is paid for the rest of their life. They don't have to make more premiums. But it's the same way with adults. I can write myself a policy now to the age of 65. When I'm 65, I'm done paying for life insurance. It's going to be a little bit more than the average, but it all equals out in the end.
I'm kind of playing catch up, right?
Pay more money then, though. Also, you just pay
so what do they call that then?
Paid up life.
Paying up life. I'm taking notes. That's what I'm asking you. I'm sitting up here. Shoot, I got a notebook. I'm writing down
it's
stuff.
A paid life policy.
Okay.
Sometimes
So you see the question. You see the question Ella's asking. Even if you age out.
Yeah, so you can't age out of a true whole life policy.
Right. It's for your whole life.
Like some companies I know, like Columbia, they have a policy where you only pay up to the age of 85. But at the age of 86, you're done paying. So you can't age out. You're finished. You're done. There's no, and you still have those benefits.
Okay.
We are learning a lot today about.
What if the insurance company goes out of business?
Today with LaVoy Sims. Go ahead, Marcel.
Every insurance company is insured through the state of Illinois, through Illinois Insurance. So if an insurance business go out of business, another insurance company bought it out. There are a lot of insurance companies. There's dozens of insurance companies that's no longer the same name. But they just bad out. Sometimes they let you know, but our finance companies know most of them yet.
Do we trust that once that's bought out and it goes to someone else, do we trust that insurance company now? I mean,
it's mandated. It's government.
It doesn't change anything.
It does not change. You know, have you ever seen the commercials or the phone calls or got the emails where people still have money left up like from their relatives? And that's because they had insurance policy. Can no one touch that insurance policy? That's a estate. That's another thing. People don't prepare and let their loved ones know because they think it's taboo about where my policy is. How much is my policy? Who is the beneficiary?
And that's where the fights at the funeral starts. That's where the fights at the funeral start. Okay, I'm getting a piece of.
Let me tell you about the beneficiary. Why is your wife who passed away 3 years ago still your beneficiary?
What kind of?
Is your child who's incarcerated, who doesn't take care of the business, part of that policy? When you have several kids, though, you don't have to put all those kids on that insurance policy.
No, you don't.
Pick the ones that's responsible. The ones that start mess, leave them off. I'm gonna tell you why.
But isn't that going to cause a fight?
They'll sit in the funeral home and they'll say, "We're not paying our portion." I'm telling y'all, I know it to be true.
Okay.
Wow.
We made her.
Whoop. Oh, I've heard that.
Conviction. If you know someone is not responsible, you are not being a bad parent. You got to be a good steward. Whoever you trust, leave it to them, and you let them split it up, or leave a will.
Yeah.
You know, something you said that's so important and so true. You mentioned that a lot of times people don't tell their family members about their policies or what they've done for burial. My mom had a friend who had bought her plot and paid for her funeral before she died, and she never told her children. They cremated her, and she had had paid for her complete funeral. Now, I already have my plot paid for. You get a deed, just like you do with a house. And I've told my children, I already have my plot. Do not buy another one. I don't want to be cremated. But you have to tell your family members what it is that you have. And a lot of times they don't.
They do not.
Yeah,
you know, it's like the funeral home. We could become the private detectives. We have to go through so many hoops just to find the policies for you. And sometimes, you know, it's too late because it's a certain point now where, okay, now this funeral have to be paid for. I've done all I can do. We can't wait any longer.
That's interesting.
That happens all the time. And it's a lot. You know what?
It happens a lot.
Black people, I don't know if they scared somebody gonna kill them. I don't know what.
You know, man, you're speaking the truth, girl.
You have to know because we're not going to be here to tell the story. So, and then, and okay, let me give you another example. My grandparents, I have grandparents that's 91 to 87. If they don't pay on their policy, I'm going to know because I'm the second addressee. Although I don't pay for them. What if they start to get Alzheimer's or something? Right? And right? And you're not living in the house with them. So you're thinking that they're paying. But they're not. But come to find out, Grandpa Alzheimer's, and he signed the HIPAA when no one knew his medical history. He paid his bills in over a year. His insurance been lapsed. And no one is keeping up with it. So you can also become, you can have your loved one sign something that's called a second payee, where you will be notified if they're behind on their policy.
If it lapses.
Not lapse, if it's late. You want to catch it before it lapse, remember?
Right.
No lapse. We don't do lapse. No lapsing.
We don't do late around here because it come out of my check.
So all of that is important. Again, just asking these questions. Sit down at the dinner table when you over there begging and asking and cooking and whatever y'all doing. These are questions you have to get in their business. You know how you get in your kids' business? I'm all in my grandparents' business, in my parents' business. I need
to be.
So the voice going. Let's talk about some of the funeral things. Okay, what are some of the things that people need to do immediately when that person dies?
Wait. Meaning, if your loved one is not at a nursing home or at home right away, it's okay to wait 24 hours to breathe. Because when people pass away, y'all gonna start laughing, but when people pass away, you have funeral hunters, you have ambulance chasers, right? You have 7 people that's gonna call you. Call this person, call that person, call this person, call that person. You haven't thought about who your loved one was, what kind of celebration, and what funeral home and funeral director would fit your loved one need. Because who Moby used, Jeff family may not want to use them. They may be good for Moby, but Jeff, whole different kind of stuff.
Hey, Jeff, I thought we was cool, man.
Hey man, we different though, Mo. We different.
Right?
Mo, you just told everybody you got $200,000 policy. Okay, you better watch
Hey, no, look, I made
the headhunters are coming.
I had to make a shift. Let me tell y'all. Let me finish the story. I had to make a shift because Aflac was eating me up. You know.
So what, you got $100,000 now?
Nothing yet.
Don't tell us, man. Come on. Don't tell us.
Nothing yet.
The voice.
You can let your brother know. We the same, right?
The voice. If somebody,
we're on the World Wide Web too.
If somebody knows already that Maurice has $200,000, you think they're gonna be coming after him?
Well, it's no good.
People do that.
They're not the beneficiary.
They got to be. Yeah, exactly.
Well, they gonna
That's my wife putting hit out on me or something.
Maybe they tell us right. They look. Go ahead.
I know you see a lot. I know you see a lot in your line of work on the funeral end of it. Families coming in fighting, and I know you got to see all that.
I am biased. I always say, but I'm biased. I'm biased. But however, my commitment is to the person that signed that contract. Although I love all the children. Whoever signed the contract, that's my commitment. Because that's who made the commitment to me, right? So that's who I honor. But we do try to bring common ground because everyone thinks it has to be their way, and it don't have to be. We all have the same common goal. It's just different aspects of getting there. I'll give you an example. True. We have families that there's 2 religions. There may be Jehovah's Witness, there may be Baptists. Okay, well, at 10 o'clock, we'll have the Jehovah's Witness service. At 11 o'clock, we'll have the Baptist service. Right? We're all trying to get to the same common ground. And when someone passes, everyone want to be, I was close. Y'all be seeing a Facebook post. Everybody, their best friend.
Exactly.
Right? Everyone want recognition. So, people are more loved than what they think. It's sad that sometimes it takes death for your family to show. But, but everyone, again, we can all accomplish this. So I'm biased though. However, my commitment is to the person that signed the contract.
Right. Now, will the insurance companies reach out to you or to the beneficiary? Say, for instance, I don't know that my family member has a policy and they pass away. Will the insurance company reach out to me?
No, because how would the insurance company know they passed?
Exactly.
Now see, you just shifted the gear on me because I'm thinking, okay, when heaven forbid anything happened to me, but if something happened to me or my wife, I'm thinking the insurance company gonna reach out to either one of us and say, hey, you got this policy.
No. That's why there's policies again that's for estates in the Illinois trust because no one knew about the policy.
Let me ask about the pre-burial, Marcella, you're muted. The burial insurance. How does that work? So, one of the family members dies that's on a burial insurance policy. How does that work?
So, if Miss Gina passed away and her family came to us and told us that she already had a burial plot and it was paid for, we just need to know the name of the cemetery, and then we do all the work from there. So
even if somebody's in Nashville.
Yes, because I had someone who had a burial plot last year in Arkansas. It was worth $5,000, but the family decided they're not burying in Arkansas. By right, that money transferred to Chicago.
Whoa.
Okay.
So we did. So also, what pre-needs, well, a lot of funeral homes don't tell you, but again, I'm gonna keep it real because it is what it is, right? Well, a lot of pre-need insurance, if you come and you sign up and say, the name of my funeral services is Sims and Ward Royalty, right? So we sit down, we have a meeting, and we write out a contract for $10,000, and you begin to pre-plan on it. Now I'm going outside of insurance, okay?
Okay.
So not only do I do life insurance, I also do pre-planning, pre-funding, meaning some people say my life insurance policy, that's just going to be just for legacy, but I'm going to pay on my funeral. So they're not going to have to touch the policy for the funeral. The thing about pre-planning is you're locking in today's rate.
I was going to say that's the plus is if inflation keeps going up, you still locked in at this rate today.
Now this is the benefit of it. Even if my company closed down, the money is still there because the money is not kept at Sims and Ward bank account. It's kept through the Illinois Trust. So all your family do is either they'll call me again. If we're not in business, you call the state of Illinois, the insurance Illinois, and then you also receive statements, so you know where your money is. You receive monthly statements. And you have to know we're not going with Sims and Ward. We're going with this company now.
All right. I got this now. I'm going to ask you
I'm going to ask you a question, though, LaVoice. I need you to do me a favor, okay?
Okay.
I see you working your way around. You already said, Jeff, in the event that you die.
You ready to die?
Now, yeah.
Leave me out of that. Leave me out of that shit.
She haven't got to Marcella or you, Greg.
I'm not going anywhere.
It's still coming. No one's exempt.
The voice.
So the voice, I got it.
Okay, so is there something out there? Is there something out there whereas if you don't know about the policies, is there something that you can do to find out if there are policies out there, the family?
Well, in case you die, Marcella, go ahead. Tell her that.
No. This is going to be a two-part question, Marcella. Yes. However,
okay.
Years ago, the funeral home had a hotline where we can call and we'll know the policies we have. They had to stop that because of fraud.
I was going to say
they had to stop. So again, the Department of Insurance, the families have to go directly to the Department of Insurance. And again, the money may be there, but that'll take a while, and most funeral homes won't honor it.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask you the super question.
Okay.
The super question is, if I said, Miss Sims, I want a pre-burial. I want to, pay for my burial. Insurance for that. How much does something like that run?
It depends on the cemetery you want to go to. So on average now, the lowest cost cemetery is approximately $2,600-$2,800 Monday through Friday. Saturday, add another $400 or $500 to that. At some cemeteries, another $700.
When you say that, you're talking about
to the $2,800.
$2,800. I'm talking when I say cost. I mean, what kind of payments do I make towards that kind of policy?
You're dead. You ain't making no payments.
Oh, okay.
Before I die, that's what I'm saying. It's a burial insurance, Negro.
There's something called pre-need insurance. Pre-need insurance, you and a company actually set up a contract on a certain amount. They'll give you the stipulations on how much to pay. So the average funeral doesn't cost $10,000 anymore. So y'all, let's kick that out, okay? Right now, the average funeral costs about $11,500, $1,200. It's no longer $10,000. $11,500. That's the average right now. It's no longer $10,000.
The average is what again? Say that one more time.
$11,500. 11,500.00. That's
for the dumb people. I know. All right. Wow.
Okay, that's the average.
She broke it on down.
So, with that being said, you may say, okay, I want a funeral for $11,500. The company may say, okay, well, are you going to do a 1-year payoff, a 3-year, 5 years, 7 year, or 10 years? That would depend on your payment. But that's pre-need, right? Hold on 1 second. That's for pre-need insurance. But if you're doing pre-need arrangement through a funeral home, you and the funeral home can come to a common denominator, and you guys work that out, and then you just set the contract up from there. Okay.
And if the insurance company, if the funeral home shuts down, because you're seeing a lot in the news now of horrific findings in different funeral homes. So if it shuts down, you've lost your money with the funeral home, correct?
No, I think your camera has shut off then. All money is kept through the Department of Insurance.
With the insurance?
Yes.
Also, even with the funeral home? Okay.
Yeah, when you're doing a pre-need with me, your money, that's not kept in my bank account. That's kept in a trust. So I don't even have
the insurance. But if you do it with the funeral home?
No,
it's
that's
the same thing if you're doing it with the funeral home.
Yes, because the funeral home has to contract. Yep, they have to legally contract with a funding. Yeah, it's not kept in the bank, and if it is kept at a funeral home bank account, that's illegal. That's illegal, and you don't want it kept in a funeral home bank account because that's your.
It's like Georgia.
Trying to tell you,
right?
They found all them bodies down there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. We're learning a lot. A whole lot, especially about insurance. And you know what? It's good to have an agent who can break things down, because you just talked about so many different types of policies and you know, so many different ways to do things. And I'm really sitting here like, you know, maybe just getting applied isn't even enough for me. I might need to add more to that.
Well,
and then speak to your loved ones about your desire, meaning this. If a person wasn't flashy, you don't need a flashy service. That's not who they was. If they was flashy, do have they want though, but sometimes we do what we want versus what they want. Do what that person want and how they live. If mama lived $1 million lifestyle and she want to go out a $1 million funeral, do that for her. But if she was simple, do simple. It's not about, you know, being a showboat, because even on a low budget at our funeral home, you're gonna get the best of the best. If you spend $1, if you spend 30,000, you're gonna get the best of the best. And that's
where you located at?
that's the kind of relationship though you want to have and build. It's a trust relationship.
Yeah, we just bring the whole family through you, right?
It's a trust relationship. So yeah, again, there's great agents, but you know, you just hear people saying term is bad, whole life is bad. You're a lie. It just depends on the situation.
So it's cremation depends on what.
Cremation is definitely cheaper because you're not paying for cemetery, you're only paying a crematory. So most cremations was like, so a lot of people are choosing a funeral followed by cremations. That's running anywhere about for a total of 7,000 maybe.
You might as well keep on going and get the funeral. Shoot.
Well,
that's what I was thinking.
It's easy to say that, right? But some people don't have that extra 3,000, 4,000. And also some people still want their loved one ashes.
Oh,
right. And you
they better not burn me. I don't want to be burned.
Get a little cheaper than that 7,000 too, though. You know, depending on if you have your own church and if you do your own flowers, you know. So
and even the cremation is kind of expensive now. I remember a time when it wasn't, and you know, a lot of people were saying, "Cremate me. I don't want to spend all my money." You know, I don't want you to spend all the money on a funeral. But now I think a cremation is about 3,000-4,000.
That's because a lot of people were taking that option. They were taking that cremation option.
Man, I do it for $39.99 like Earl Shive used to do. I
go down,
get some
gasoline
on you, make a fire.
That's Lord.
You know, we respect all the human remains. You will not. You will not. I'll report you.
Pull some gas on
it. Don't put me in the leaf burner can, okay?
Hey,
$39.99. I'm Earl Shive. I will burn anybody.
Imagine that commercial. You got one of them store-bought mannequins, and you spill some gas on that mug and set it on fire. Get your cremation today.
Terrible.
I'm located at 5112 Southwestern Avenue. That's our main location.
Well, we're talking about what city, what state?
Chicago, Illinois. However,
this show goes everywhere.
Okay. However, though, we do have chapels that we lease out of suburban areas as well. So it just depends on the side of town that you want your loved one services, and that's where I'll service you at. We also do at-home visits when it comes to arrangements. A lot of people do not like coming to the funeral home. So a lot of times we're able to serve them at their home.
Byron says, having recently buried my mother and my sister, I totally realized that the business of death is just that, business.
Trust me, it depends on who you go through. And you may be right. It depends on who you go through. Am I doing this because I'm a servant? And because anyone that come in my care, male, female, child, I'm going to treat you like you mine. Meaning that I'm going to give you the exact care I give my loved one. But at the end of the day, things do cost. But I'm going to make sure that my people is taken care of.
Hey, Greg, ain't going to be that regular gasoline. It's going to be that hot test on you.
Yeah, that's going to
be. Well, you know what?
93 octane.
We should have talked about that yesterday on the show about inventors, man. Who invented that damn high-ass gas, man? We could have stayed with regular gas. Hey, you know, less cheaper than. Where you go, LaVoice?
Well, you know what?
$4,000 for a cremation.
Yeah, it's expensive now.
Yeah,
it's almost expensive as a funeral. Yeah. But you know what? As we're talking about how you should prepare for, you know, the unspeakable death, also wanted to talk about a few other things because, you know, sometimes we leave here, people have property, they have investments, they have things that, you know, if you don't have a will, the state steps in and they decide what happens to your estate. And you don't want that to happen. A lot of times, you know, you have, you know, the family members might contest the will, and you need to know what you're walking into or what you're facing, you know, through the legal system. Because even if you have a will, it can be contested, and I've seen wills changed, even though this is what that person who passed away, this is what their wishes are in the will, but that was contested and changed too. But one thing I wanted to bring up was something I found out years ago, because I have real estate, and I found out that you can go down to Lake County. I'm in Indiana, so it's probably different in whatever state you're in. But in Indiana, Lake County is where it holds all the records and all of this on property. But you can go down to Lake County and you can do a transfer of deed, which means that at your death, you already have your property deeded to the person that you want it deeded to. A lot of times people think that, you know, you got to go and pay, you know, pay an attorney and get it put in this person's name and this. You don't have to do that. You can go right down to Lake County and do that transfer of deed. And at your death, that property transfers over to the person that you have on that transfer of deed.
So, Gina, what happens if the direct opposite happens? You die before the person that you got the deed on, you know, what happens to the property?
If that person passes away, well, then you would probably need to change who you're deeding it to.
Okay.
Byron says that everyone should have any and all bank accounts fixed with a payable on death designation to avoid probate.
Yes.
What is that? Yeah, explain that. That's good stuff.
That's a beneficiary. I'm back.
The voice is back.
You need a beneficiary.
You said a beneficiary account?
You need to assign a beneficiary for all of your bank accounts.
Oh, yeah, I got that, yeah.
If their name is not on the bank account. The funeral home can give you a small estate affidavit for that. However, if there's a certain amount in the bank account, you still have to go through probate.
My son gets everything. My son.
I'm glad you said that. If someone is under the age of 18, if you decide to put them as a beneficiary, you still need to put someone over the age of 18 at a percentage until that person. The reason I say that is children, minors, they can't access their money.
Right.
So when it comes to a funeral, if all of your children are under 18, all of them are your beneficiaries, you still don't have insurance for us. Does that make sense? So if you have a amount, let's say you allocate 10,000 for them until everyone is over the age of 18, then everyone can be a beneficiary.
Gotcha.
We often see that as a problem too.
Real good. Hey, look, we're gonna take a moment real quick, take a little break, okay? Let the life coach do his thing, redirect, regroup, refocus. Life coach, what you got?
All right, bro. This is what I got for y'all today. As I'm sitting here and I'm taking notes, I'm gonna put some accountability on everybody today. If you are watching and you have not set up any of these things that we have discussed, I have like 4 pages of notes here of just great information. Because the thing is this, death is something that needs to be talked about. Okay, it's definitely something that needs to be talked about. Don't shy away from it. Okay, I don't care if you're scared of it. Don't shy away from it, because once you leave this earth, you have people here who have to care for your remains. You have people here who have to, quote unquote, look after your body to make sure that you being put in the right places or actually following the wishes that you wanted while you were still alive. So I challenge everybody today, don't shy away from the conversation of death. Actually take the time to discuss it with your friends, discuss it with your family, because sometimes you may have a best friend that might snake in there too. So discuss it with the people and your loved ones who you are close to so that they know. I don't care if you live till you're 85, 90 years old, at least somebody will be set in place and knows what to do with you when you are gone. That's what I challenge you to do tonight.
This is a challenge set out.
All right.
Regroup, refocus. That is the life coach Jeff Varela. What he does, he got a podcast that comes on Mondays. Y'all got to check him out. All right, but absolutely, that's good advice. Great advice.
Thank you.
The voice, while you playing with your camera over there.
I'm going back on my computer, but I'm listening.
Okay, we're good. No, we're listening to you. We're listening to you. We're talking to LaVoice Sims. All right. Byron says that LaVoice is in a good business. People are dying to get in.
Oh, there go Byron. There you go.
Here we go. I knew one was coming. I knew one was coming.
That's true.
But LaVoice, so go ahead.
No, that's okay. You keep going.
I'm sorry?
I said that's okay. You can keep going.
Oh no, I just wanted to know. So I mean, as we're this is the last half hour of the show, so we want to get as much in as we can.
Okay.
As the person, person's gone, and supposedly everything is set so that everybody's supposed to divvy up everything and get it right and this and that. But what if it isn't? What if the and this I'm speaking from the funeral director place. What if it isn't divvied up correctly? What if there is that contest? Is that a word? Write it down, Marcella. Contestment.
Contestability.
Right. Contestability. Okay. There you go.
Well, but what if that happens? Does that affect the payment to the funeral, or is that already pre-designated?
Funeral homes do not accept contestable policies at all. So what happens is, your loved one passed away. Your loved one passed away, and you come to the funeral home. You present us with a policy. We have to call the insurance company and verify that everything is in good standing. The very first question we ask before we even ask, does it cover the contract? Is this policy contestable? If the policy is contestable, that means basically it means the insurance company don't know if they're paying out or not. That's in short terms. That's what it means. And so they have to do their due diligence, but the funeral home can't wait for them to do their due diligence. We need an exact yes or no. If they say no, it's all good. We keep moving on. Every now and again, they'll say it's not incontestable. However, they still owe us a loan or something like that. And so we'll just deduct that, Wow. Some people don't know that their parents took out a loan on the policy and they only got $100 left, They don't know.
Communication is key, people.
Yes, that's what happened to a family member of ours. He had a $250,000 policy, and when at his time of death, when we started putting everything together, he had $150 left in that policy.
Wow.
He had borrowed on it.
Jeez.
Byron says some folks die with a will, and many folks die with a bill.
Here we go.
Do you help someone at that point? They're grieving right now. They haven't covered all the bases. Do you help them at that point?
Yeah. So what we do is we ask them what's their essentials, meaning, okay, we know you wanted it on a grand scale, but how can I still give you that same effect and it be cost effective? And then we give them some vehicles that they may try to go through. There's something called Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities pays out $4,500 to families in need. The only thing about Catholic Charities is they have to accept your application, and the funeral home have to know in an amount of time whether they're going to pay out or not. Catholic Charities also only take a certain amount. They have a certain amount of revenue per month that they can give out, right? So that's a revenue. If someone is violently killed, the Illinois state's attorney, they pay out $10,000. Now this is the thing, and that's called crime victims. Now, this is the thing about crime victims. It's wonderful. However, the funeral home will get their money for about 18 to 24 months.
God.
So every funeral home may not accept it at every given point, meaning I only may accept 10 a year. So if I'm at my 10th one, because that's what we allocate money for. I may not be able to accept yours right now because I'm already waiting on 10 other cases. That makes sense.
Wow. So what happens when this person dies? They ain't got jack. Somebody, I mean, they ain't got nothing.
Talking about like a homeless person?
They ain't got nothing, Maurice. They got not a penny. They don't have insurance. They don't have anything. Okay, but this person has to be buried, right?
Cremated.
Or cremated. So at that point, if you have absolutely nothing at all whatsoever, your best choice is to just do a cremation and a memorial service.
But you don't even have the money for that. So what happens? Body just what do you do?
If someone doesn't come and retrieve their loved one from our funeral home within a given amount of time, we send them down to the Cook County morgue or to wherever county morgue. And at that point, that person would sit there until they have it's called an indigent service where they have like being buried in Potter's Field, but they have like several. It's about they have a service, and I want to say sometimes they bury 200 people at a time.
Golly.
It's done every so often. All the they contract funeral homes, and we bring our hearse, and we all take them out to a cemetery, and everyone get buried at the same time. They have a priest and everything, but yeah.
So basically, they just put them in a box and put them on top of each other and throw the dirt on top.
Not on top of each other, no. But they are, yeah.
I was gonna say a mass burial.
Because what they can't do is we cannot cremate without authorization. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
You can bury, but you cannot cremate.
All right.
So some people do sit at the county morgue for months before their loved one. Yeah. Or several weeks. But believe it or not, though, I've been doing it for 11 years. People come up with money for a funeral because they know the sensitivity of it. They do. They may not put it in your hand, but they'll call me and say, well, I have 500, I have 100. They pull their resources together. I see it done every week.
Wow.
You've been doing this since he was in your 20s?
Yes.
Wow.
What made you choose this field?
Yeah.
When I was a little girl, I used to always go to funerals, and I used to always say, they doing this wrong. Why they doing this like this? Or why the person look like this? And I actually went to school when I got out of high school, and I went to ophthalmology. I got a degree in ophthalmic care. I wasn't an eye doctor, though. I was a technician.
Okay.
And once I had my daughter, and so then I went to mortuary school after that. But because of the business was so demanding, and I just wasn't ready for the task, I got out of the industry. But then when my daughter turned a certain age, I went on ahead and I went back and I did it, fully.
I dated a lady that I didn't even know she was a mortician. She worked there. So one day she had to go to, and this is a true story. She had to go to do something. Okay. And I rode up there to the funeral home with her. And I saw her doing something, doing what she needed to do. And I heard this noise. And my black ass was the boy, I don't understand how people
you ran.
Yeah, I ran, stumbled, rolled. I did everything. I heard I just heard it wasn't even. I just heard a noise. Okay, I heard, and I was gone. I was that way.
Sound like some meat in Mac.
I haven't seen her since. I didn't see her since. Okay, because I'm not.
He left her though.
I left her there.
Wow!
Look, I took LaVoice. I took my black ass.
Oh no!
Right? But LaVoice, I say this to say, do you have problems? I mean, okay, you got a child in this episode. Are you married?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how does your husband? I mean, does he? A
I
part
got
of
him
your
in the business now too, and my father.
There you go.
So my father was retired as an electrician, and now he's part of the business. And my husband, he was a railroad conductor, and now he's part of the business.
So every once in a blue moon, I'm scanning through the TV and I see these really elaborate funerals. Where they especially on black funerals, they got a little bit of money, and they take the casket in up on, it's like 4 brothers on each side holding up in the air, they singing a song or whatever. Do y'all do stuff like that too?
I do it. Look up my I do it. You've been to one of my funerals, right?
Yes, LaVoice actually buried my mother-in-law, Robert's mother.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so This is my theory. Royalty, right? Our name is Sims of War Royalty.
Okay.
So when I sit down with your family, again, my very first question before we start planning is, who was your loved one and what did they represent in the earth? I want you to tell me about this person. I need to get a glimpse of this person. I need to think about ideas, everything. I need for you, when you walk in a funeral, I need you to say, yeah, that was mama. Yeah, this,
Yeah.
But with that being said, if you're simple, it's going to be simple.
So roll about there.
And if you're over the top, I'm going to lay out the red carpet and we're going to step.
That boy's a king now, as a king.
But it's, when you do things in class and excellence and elegance, it's always tasteful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
I mean,
this is the first time I ever met a person who did funerals who also sold insurance. I think that's a good thing because
that is.
It's more in depth.
Yeah.
And
we know the pitfalls, right? We know the pitfalls of it. That's why I always say, just have that little bit of whole life. 25,000 whole life, and however much term you're gonna get, but please just have $25,000
minimum.
Please, minimum.
Okay.
Just 25.
I'll tell you what, I will look. I'll have the life insurance and all of that stuff. But if I go to the funeral and I hear anything, if the coffin look like it moved a little bit,
they ain't going nowhere, Greg. Ain't nobody moving, Greg.
Greg, you
hey,
talk too
my
much
coach,
stuff
if I hear an
here.
extra voice, that ain't even in the room, if I hear an extra voice, it'd be like, Greg, I'm gone. I'm out.
Hey, that's the voice of God.
Do you understand what happens at death, though? Do you understand what happens?
Oh wait, go ahead and go through that. This is gonna trip y'all out. Go through it. Go ahead and go through it.
No, do you understand what happens
back
at
to the
death?
body?
The body and everything and what it goes.
Go ahead and explain some of that stuff.
Let them know.
100% of time, by the time they get to the funeral home, rigor mortis and everything else has set in. They have taken their last breath, their last bowel movement. Because even if you passed away at home, most of the time we're not getting your loved ones like 4 hours later because they're calling other people over. So there are subtle movements, and what's happening is air and everything else is releasing. Right?
Passing gas and everything.
So if you're at a funeral home and once a person especially has been embalmed, how can you live and breathe without blood? There's no blood in them.
Hold up.
Nope.
Hold up. So all of that stuff happens after you, right after you die. It shouldn't be happening at the funeral home. So if I hear noise,
she asking you.
That's what you.
So if you're hearing that, that's you. That's not them people. Don't blame them.
Exactly. Them people are done. She done handled the bodies. It's over with.
They already with Jesus. They soul was already there.
You better let them know.
So
Brian says, I'm going to be cremated and put into a pot of chili so I can tear some ass up.
Byron, you cutting up Byron.
Byron, hilarious.
Oh my
God.
God.
That's your friend.
I try not
Byron
to.
must be your friend, Greg.
Yeah, we know. I grew up with Brian actually.
Okay.
Man, you're right.
I don't go to funerals that often. I'll go to the after party or whatever you call it. What do you call it? Okay, there you go. Repast. You call it what you want. After party. I try not to go to funerals. I went to my dad's, but I don't like going to funerals.
I understand though.
It's just something about that one experience with that lady.
The importance of funerals though, for the immediate family, for the next of kin, is the finality of it. So, especially children, the worst thing you could do is keep kids away from when one of their immediate family members pass, because in a child's mind, they're imaginary, right? So a child is thinking, grandma will be back. You know how they say, you'll see her again one day. They're hearing a preacher say this. They hear everything. So they're thinking, their imagination, they're thinking that she's coming back in the house one day. Or she just gone on, she'll be back. Speak to them and let them know what reality is. Let them see it. And even for some family members, you're planning a service for 7 to 14 days. So you're just go. Sometimes it don't hit them until they see their loved one. That's one of the first steps of grieving though. You need that. You need the truth. You don't need to be pity patty. I need to stand up with you and rock you through that and let you know you standing in this. But you will get it. You're gonna smile again. I tell mothers who bury their children. I tell children who bury their mothers, you know, one thing about, if you believe in God, you know, one thing about it is that's divine order. You're supposed to bury your parents. Your parents don't supposed to bury you. You're in divine order, right?
Yep.
My daughter is 13. I teach her every day. I'm teaching you to live without me. I'm not going to, you know how some people say mom and daddy going to always be here forever. No, I'm not. So I'm going to teach you to live without me, right? I need to give you the tools. I need to give you everything's inside of me. So, you know, when I get buried, I always tell her, don't you say you're going to die. No, you're not. You're going to be fine. You're going to be, you're going to live. And that's the reality of it. Or, you know, I'm going to tell y'all a story. Now, it's a true story. An older woman told me this. She had a friend and her mother died, right? They're older and her mother died. And the lady stayed in bed for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time, basically to where she was in depression. And the lady came in one day and she told her friend, do you love your children? She said, yeah, I do. She said, well, you better get up because they're talking about taking your kids away from you because you're in a deep depression. And what did she do? She hurried up and gathered up. There's something that's called inappropriate grieving. And you can inappropriate grieve someone as well. Because it's like making a person your idol. If my daughter, who I love dearly, like I would give her I would die for her, right? If she passed away today or tomorrow, my daughter named Lyric, she's not my idol. She's not bigger than God, right?
Come on now.
It's going to hurt. My life will never be the same. I may be crazy for a minute, but I promise you, you got to move on. It's a reason behind every single thing. But if you don't think of that, my grandmother is 91. I have a cousin. He think my grandmother immortal. I said, if something happened to her, you better not act no fool. Because he thinks she ain't going to never die.
Come on.
But you got to know it's going to happen one day. That's all.
Yeah. Keep it real with them, girl. Keep it real.
Byron says you can't let the dead rule the living.
And that is so true. Yeah, you know.
Truth.
Yeah, they make people their idols to where they can't go on and live again. You know, you have to. There's a reason every day you wake up, and that's one thing that I always say. You know, I'm the last person you want to see, but I believe God gave me a gift of joy, and I don't want to. When you sit across from me, I don't want to look dead. So I don't look like a funeral director a lot. You know, I wear heels to services. I wear hats. I wear gloves. I dress up, and I try to bring life in your situation. Because I'm there to handle something you can't right now. So that's how I look at it. You know, instead of looking at it morbid, instead of looking at it morbid, I just look at it like Greg can't take the.
What about Greg? What about Greg?
So I
no, not me. Go ahead with Greg.
Yeah, how funny.
I don't want to be talking. No, I don't want my name brought up in the conversation.
You told me to mention your name, so I had to throw you in a puzzle.
No, I said don't mention my name. See, tomorrow I'm gonna get hit by a bus.
LaVoice, keep him in the puzzle.
Cut it out.
You ain't gonna get hit by no bus. Quit that. Oh Jesus! Don't say all that, man.
LaVoice, honestly and truly, it's been a blessing to have you on here. It's been a great show. We appreciate you giving us that knowledge. A lot of people aren't ready and aren't prepared, and hopefully we've given them some things to go on to get prepared and get that knowledge. All right, and we thank you for coming on the show, and you are welcome to come back on here again anytime you get ready. Okay, because we have come up to shows now that we've had to actually have to do two parts to it. You know, There's been a lot of shows like that, and we have to do two parts to them because we want people to go out there prepared and knowledgeable. Gina, did you get the snot off your nose?
It was like right there. I saw it, and it hit the lip and the tongue. I saw it.
Yeah, I got the worst cold since I've been back from Florida.
Did you wipe the snot off, though? That's all
I did, and I put on hand sanitizer.
So LaVoice, as we go out,
and then I told Robert to give me a kiss.
Oh no, you didn't.
Wait, he said.
What? That's love. That's love.
LaVoice, as we go out every time we leave here, we let everybody go around the horn and talk about some things and say what's on their mind. All right, I'm just gonna play a couple of commercials for my time, okay? But you go ahead and say what, give us something to go on.
So do not procrastinate. If everyone don't need insurance, now I am going to say this: everyone does not need insurance. If your family is well off or you know how to save money, that's fine. But if you know, without a shadow of a doubt, insurance also can bring legacy too. So it just depends on the situation, right? So do your due diligence and take care of your business.
Yeah.
Take care of your business.
Great advice. Great advice. Myself.
Okay, like LaVoice was saying, first of all, thank you for being honest when I asked you that question. And you said you really didn't know a lot about that and not trying to make up something. Thank you for that. People, get your affairs in order, not only just for insurance, look into living trust, have a will, power of attorney, durable power of attorney, health power of attorney. All of these things are some of the things before you even get ill or get to that point. Don't leave it for your family to be running around in a rabbit hole. Passwords, beneficiaries of bank accounts, things like that. Start researching, doing things now. Don't think because you're young, you have a lot of time left. You never know. Even for your children, get it together.
All right, Jeff.
Yep. Yeah, preparation is key, people. Do the best you can to gain and gather all the knowledge that you can. Some stuff you're going to like, some stuff you won't like. It'll be some rough decisions you have to make down the road, but understand, people, that this is necessary. So please do the best that you can to prepare for death and be willing to accept death also.
I know for our culture, it's really hard to accept those type of things, and look deep into it, just like we did tonight. We dug deep. I mean, sometimes we got a little light on it, but it's some serious business of the business, I think I'm going to actually change a few things in my day because of the conversations tonight, without a doubt. But I think our culture has a problem with talking about death, and we actually need to have another show where you have some product that you can example. Give us some examples of some products that maybe some of the folks that are listening and watching can get with you about.
Absolutely, Gina.
Well, death is inevitable.
Yeah.
But I do want LaVoice to give your information for the life insurance. I'll be meeting with her Saturday, and she's going to give me some information in detail. I want to be very prepared. I do have insurance already, but, Robert and I are about to be married, and so we want to move into our marriage with life insurance. So if you want to take a little bit of my time to go ahead and give your information where people can reach out to you if they want life insurance.
Okay. My telephone number is area code 773-459-9976. My email is LaVoice, LAV as in Victor, OICESIMS @hotmail.com. And yes, I still do have Hotmail.
I was going to say that's an old email.
So does Greg, so don't feel bad.
Right?
I got a Yahoo email. So.
And also, I often refer out because I have a lot of colleagues, again, and agents where if I can't get something, I'm gonna connect you to someone else. Okay.
That sounds like teamwork.
Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. Hey, man, look, she's right. I echo what Gina says. Death is inevitable, all right? But when you go to the funeral home and prepare for everything, make sure they're really dead, okay? I mean, if you hearing those,
This brother.
Bruh.
Greg, they gone.
He said, make sure they did.
I'm pretty sure by the time they make that call, Greg, it's over with.
I'm just saying, make sure they really dead.
I can ask LaVoice right now if she ever received a body that was not dead, and
No.
she probably say,
There you go.
If I do, I'm running. I'm telling you now.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm running. So.
Sucker rise up, be like, whoop.
Greg, If she run past you, then you know don't take nothing but two of us to start running.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm not,
Right.
hey,
We don't
Maurice,
ask
I'm
questions, right? We just run.
I'm not looking back.
Right.
I'm not the Negro that dies in the movie. Okay, I'm not the one that's gonna die.
Boys, where you going? Where you going, boy?
Me either.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm following. I ain't saying nothing.
Speaking of movies, nothing to do with this. My man's shout out to my man Kevin Parkinson. You know, Noxious 2, and
Parkinson.
Queen Valley of the Queens is on Tubi. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out. And shout out to my man Jamie McGrone. All right, August the 14th. You guys want tickets to go see?
Got my
The
tickets.
show being filmed live. Check this commercial out.
He's creating a platform for everyone to come and tell their story of how they turned tragedy into triumph. And everyone has a story to tell. Get ready to be motivated and inspired on That's Why I'm Here. So get ready, get ready, get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, your talk show host, Jamie McGrone.
Hi, I'm Jamie McGrone from That's Why I'm Here.
Man, go in. It's going to be exciting moment, exciting experience, exciting time. Okay, come through. Get you just inbox Jamie McGrone or the That's Why I'm Here Facebook page. Just send your tickets. All right. Make sure you guys get with that. Okay, LaVoice, life insurance agent LaVoice Sims. Her number is 773-459-9976. You can reach her at that old ass Hotmail address.
Hey, it worked.
LAVOICE Sims SIMS at Hotmail. I got a Hotmail too. I'm not tripping on that. Okay.
I had it in high school, right?
Man.
Oh my goodness, not since high school, no.
Oh, not since high school.
I've been working the whole time.
I was trying to help you out, but you're on your own with that high school.
Well, Greg, if you didn't have it in high school, since high school, then that's another issue there.
Man, look, I'm older than her, so I didn't have. Thank you. I didn't have it. I had, pencils and pens, and we got to put them in the bottle, throw them in the lake. But LaVoice, we thank you for coming on to the show. And again, we did another show. We're going to have a part 2. We got to do it again. All right.
Okay,
and like Maurice said,
for the information.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for
We're waiting on some good examples of product, please.
Definitely see you guys tomorrow. It's DopelivenTV Live. Again, thank you, LaVoice. And, our platform is your platform. All right.
Thank you. Be blessed, everyone.
Thank
you.
You
too.
As well.
Saturday.
Okay.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace out.